band, so between Tom and I, there was one huge national fan. And I thought like he was living out a lot of the themes of the band and their songs, and I just thought that was insanely interesting as a band, and I thought we were exploring that in those early stages, and so we'd always skew toward that, and like a little more gray and dark and a little more struggle, and it was always a test of like, how indulgent is this versus how interesting and compelling and relatable is this? And we got overwhelming feedback that it was relatable and it was interesting, and that, you know, that was the true heart of the story.
And actually, to be honest, it was when he told me that he saw so many themes that are within my brother's music. That was such a turnoff at first. It was just like, I'm like, what? I'm like, this is like, I don't want this to be, like, it was, but the more I kind of like didn't want to go in that direction, the more it became that movie. And I do see the beauty in it, and I do really enjoy my brother's music. And I'm sure I might get that question, but I am a kind of a fan. And I listen to it's great music, and I'm so proud of him. But it's like when you told me, I'm like, really? I don't want to be associated with this. I want to make my own movie.
Don't worry, whenever you try to sing his music, I don't even recognize it. Because I'm on a blood buzz. Yes, I am.
Right here in the front.
Now that the movie's over, how are you doing in the girlfriend and dishes?
So now that the show's over, how are you doing with the girlfriend and dishes?
Neither. I've been working on this movie nonstop for 3 years, and I've been living in my brother's garage and editing and editing and editing and editing, and no time for fun. I'm making a movie here, and but you know, it's that's personal. I'm not gonna say it.
Right here.
I guess my question is less about the movie, more about your recent success. How was brunch with Mr. De Niro?
How was brunch with Mr. De Niro? And that's a reference to you guys premiering your film at Tribeca recently. So how was that?
Well,
We forgot about Tribeca.
yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Rebecca was great, and he's a man of few words, and really, he really is. But I guess the funniest thing is when I was taking pictures with him on this crazy red carpet, he does do this cheese. Like he's like looking, he just everybody say cheese. And that's what he does. He says cheese. All the photographers, and I just kind of shit my pants.
We're going to take one in the balcony right there at the front.
You're taking a break, I'm guessing, after doing this for 3 years, but going forward, your background of horror films, and now having done a doc, do you see this as a path being open to you? That's something that you'd like to do?
So having a horror film focus and background, but now having done this doc, what do you see yourselves going forward? Does this open up a new path for you?
Yeah, I never thought I'd be making a doc, or I mean, I never thought I would even be a subject of a doc, and but I don't know. I really do want to still get into fiction movies, and I have a couple ideas, and you know, I made a short movie about Johnny Appleseed after I made the horror movie. I was trying to like depart from the horror movie element, because I do like other movies as well. And I always kind of wanted to go back to the Johnny Appleseed story, because I think it's a great idea. I really do. He was kind of this crazy guy in the frontier, and like that's kind of I do have an idea about that. He's kind of a hero of mine, but
The Don Juan of the frontier, right?
He was
a ladies' man.
He was a ladies' man, as well as a drunk. So we kind of got that going. Yeah, I don't know. Those horror movies I made were in college, and you know, I loved all different types of movies, but I just felt like I don't know. The movie you saw there was like inspired not just by horror, but by Werner Herzog's, you know, Aguirre, Wrath of God, and there's a movie called Quest for Fire about cavemen by Jean-Jacques Annaud. It's an awesome movie, but also I added the horror elements, and at that time I had a passion for the VHS. Like the movies I watched as a kid, like Media Entertainment, Vidmark Entertainment, these like cheeseball VHS movies, and I shot that movie in 4:3 on purpose because I just wanted to get that old VHS quality. And so that was kind of a little more, there was a little more to it than just a gory movie. But I do have a desire to make the craziest, scariest movie ever made. I don't know if I could ever make that, but when I was a kid, I wanted to make Heaven and Hell, movie Heaven versus Hell. And when I was a kid, I wanted to, I just thought it'd be really cool. It was the most expensive movie ever made. Not realizing making the most expensive movie ever made is probably not the best idea, but.
Right there in the back.
What's your relationship like with your sister?
What's your relationship like with your sister?
She's great, and she's okay with not being in the movie. She lives in Seattle, and we're really close. Like, our whole family's very close, but she really wasn't in very much of my footage, and we tried to get her in. To be honest, it's being like, it was one of these hard things that we had to cut her out of the scenes. But as I say, I do make this joke that I will someday make a sequel about my sister who's not in a band, who's also not in a movie. So there's always hope for her.
Right here.
I really like your artwork. I was wondering if you're doing anything further with that, maybe animation or
Thank you.
So it was a compliment to your artwork. And are you doing any work with animation or sequence or anything artistic?
No. Those drawings you saw were about, I did those in high school. I think I really haven't drawn for a long time and really out of practice, but I think that was an early passion of mine. I've been, no, thank you. No, maybe, I don't know.
Back right there.
What type of cameras did you use to shoot the doc?
What kind of cameras did you use to shoot the doc?
A Canon Vixia, MF. It's award run a little. What's that? Oh, sorry. Oh. I had this. It's like a little tiny like prosumer camera, and I wore it on my neck the whole time because we really didn't have any permission in a lot of these places, and it was so inconspicuous that I just shot, and no one really gave a damn. And it's a great, it still works, and it's a great little camera, and it was through every single shot in there was on a Canon Vixia, and including when I was able to get some friends to shoot some big live shows, like multiple cameras, all Canon Vixias. Just so obvious, but it's a good camera. If anybody's in Canon here, good camera.
Right there on the side, Niall.
When you set out to make this rock documentary, did you have any idea that you were going to emerge as a central character in the film? And was that part of an original narrative frame? Or?
So when you set out to make this rock documentary, did you know that you were going to emerge as a central character, that the focus would change?
No, I didn't set out. I went on tour. Obviously, I was asked, and I knew that I had to do something. I just wanted to make a reel or just get my name associated with the band. I also wanted to be part of the band a little bit. That's why I was just filming myself. But I didn't think that would ever be used. Maybe I just wanted to give myself a face if you hear my voice behind the camera. But I really just wanted, early on, I just wanted to maybe make some web content, video web content, or like an extra on their special edition CD, like a video extra. Originally, that's all of my intention is to get my name out there, and I did stuff for the National, and hire me for video work. But no, I certainly, it was only about a little over a year ago when I had people told me to put myself in the movie a lot more.
So we have time for one last burning question. Anyone right there in the balcony at the front?
What other artists would you like to work with if you were to go back?
So if you were to go back to work as a filmmaker, what other artists would you want to work with?
Isn't it like a music artist?
As if like you were to go on tour.
Well, I really like, there's metal. I mean, I really like High and Fire. That's a great metal band. I'd like to just tour with them. But he's quit smoking and drinking and drugging, so I don't know. There's probably not much content there. The lead singer has really problems. But I don't know. there's music in here by the band named Lord Weird Slough Feg, which is F-E-G at the end. And they're the great San Francisco metal band, been around for like 15 years, play old school meat and potatoes, heavy metal. And these guys are legendary. I'd love to make a doc on them. Yeah. Or Cobalt, if anybody likes heavy, really heavy stuff. Cobalt's a great band too.
Not the National or not any indie rock, is that what you're saying?
I had to do a lot of research.
So unfortunately, that is all the time we have left. Before we go, I want to remind you guys there's a third screening of this film. I believe it's this weekend. So tell your friends if you love the movie. Please vote if you love the film. Vote generously. Keep the film on top.
Oh, I was going to say that I'm going to be across the street at that Paupers, if anybody.
Paupers bar.
And also, I love that you guys clapped for the volunteers, and we want to thank the volunteers again. I'm sure they're still there.
Hey.